Jesus is coming near the time when he is going to give his life upon the cross of Calvary. Passover is near at hand, and he wants to eat the Passover with his disciples, so he sends them to an upper room. We are standing on top of that upper room, or one like that, where Jesus brought his disciples. We're going to read from John chapter 13, beginning at verse 1. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come, and that he should depart from this world to his Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And supper being ended, the devil having already put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, rose from supper and laid aside his garments, took a towel and girded himself. After that he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel with which he was girded. Then he came to Simon Peter, and Peter said to him, Lord, you are washing my feet? Jesus answered and said to him, What I am doing you do not understand now, but you will know after this. Peter said unto him, You shall never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, If I do not wash you, you have no part with me. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Jesus said to him, He who is bathed needs only to be washed his feet, but is completely clean. And you are clean, but not all of you. For he knew who would betray him, therefore he said, You are not all clean. And now here is Arie David to discuss this further about Jesus in the upper room.
We are now standing on the roof of the upper room. What is the meaning of upper room? In order to have upper room, you have to have a lower room. But upper room was a special place that Jesus decided to celebrate the last evening and the last supper with his disciples. Now this was a certain place that Jesus chose. And we read in Matthew 26, from verse 17 on, that Jesus sent one or two of the disciples to find a man that Jesus talked with him already and to prepare for him the room. What is so special here, that when you come to have a supper in a place like this, it's not just a regular place. It will be a very special, like a lobby in a hotel or something like this. And the people would expect there to have the servant with bowl of water. They will expect that when they enter, the servant will take their sandals out of them and wash their legs, and then they will enter and sit inside. And we have to understand, the roads in Jesus' time were not covered with stones. They were dirt roads. And because this special celebration, people are lying on their left hand on cushions, they are taking much more care to be legs washed. And let us see what is the meaning to be in a place like this. I'm going to draw to you now in order to explain you better how it looks. Let us say that this is the room. So let us try to see what is the system of sitting or laying down when you enter to a place called the upper room. We call the system triclinium. The people are reclining. So let us say this is the entrance. So once you enter inside, you expect that somebody will be with a bowl of water waiting there in order to wash the legs of the people. He is the servant. And what happened here, there was no one to wash their legs. But let us see what is the way that they went into the triclinium. The first one is going and all are following after him. And look, this is the way that they go. So the first one lays here, number one. Again, he lays on his left hand on the floor. Why he lays on the floor, like lying down? Because this is Passover. In Passover, this is the feast of getting out from bondage to freedom. So number two may be here, three here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Why 13? Because it was Jesus with the 12 disciples. Let us see who could be the different people. Why? Because he was the man with the money. And like today, when you enter to a place, you enter with the Visa card because you pay. So the paying man is the first. So it might be that he, Judah, used to go first. The second one, we can understand it was Jesus, JS, because he was inviting the group to come to his celebration. He wanted to dine with them. He said it. The third one could be John. I write it J-N, because he laid on him later on and talked to him very close, position. We don't know who was the fourth one, but it might be James, G-M. So we have the 4J. Judah, Jesus, John, and James. Why James? Because James and John were the two most close disciples to Jesus. Jesus went up and took a towel in order to wash their legs. Again, like we said, we are not sure about exactly where everyone was sitting, but we can almost assume that the last one was Peter. And Peter had eye direction with all the four of them. Peter is the head of the group, all the time going in the back watching. Now, let us see what is the meaning. They are sitting, reclining this way. Peter has a full eye connection with every one of them. When Jesus came, he took the bowl of water and he went all the way with the bowl of water, all the way till he came to Judah. Judah is the first one that is washed. He's washing his legs. Jesus gave Judah a full chance to be one of the disciples. After he did it to Judah, he continued on, maybe to John, to James. Look, Jesus is washing their legs. They are with their face forward. Their face is here. The legs are here. There is no eye connection between them and Jesus. Jesus is doing it in the back. Look how it kept, that they will not feel embarrassed if he will be in front of them and wash their legs under them. So, during this time that Jesus is washing their legs, who is looking all the time? Who is tearing his eyes? No doubt, Peter. Now, what we read now, did Peter like that the disciples gave Jesus to wash their legs? He didn't like it. He didn't like it. We can feel that he almost inside said, I will not let him wash my legs. When he will arrive to me, I will not let. Why? They let him wash. And he's watching them and maybe even judging them. Why you let him, the master, wash your legs? Aren't you ashamed? When he will come to me, I will not let him. And that's what we see that happened. When Jesus arrived to Peter, he almost jumped. You will not wash my legs. Peter was judging them because they let the Lord wash their legs. And Peter, jumping up, you will not wash my legs, almost pointing and saying, I'm not like them. And what he told him, Peter, if I don't wash your legs, You have no part in me. So immediately Peter is jumping up and saying, not only my legs, but wash all my body. No, 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 Peter. It's not needed. If your legs are washed, you are already washed. I know who you are. I don't deserve that you will wash me. But Jesus then pointed to Peter and said to him, Peter, if I don't wash your legs, you have no part in me. What I want here to point again, how much passion the Lord had with Peter, how much love he had to him. He knew his passion. He knew what was behind Peter's ideas, but he didn't reject him, he didn't judge him. And the last thing, he washed his legs, and then he came back and he was sitting and dining with them, and about this we will see in the next part.